Tonight on Hunter. The victim's name was Michael Gerard. He was 31.
Ordinary people are not shot to death at close range.
Mrs. Ava Sands, who reported that her daughter, who has a history of psychotic behavior, stole her .380 automatic. Well, apparently she stopped taking her medication. She had a violent reaction.
No!
Maybe somebody wanted to make her crazy.
She went after me with a knife, and they still let her out.
Rachel! Rachel! I told you to go home, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, sure. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Then you could say I was irresponsible and fire me.
Go home! I'll see you tomorrow. We better go call the police. File a police report.
Yes?
Mrs. Gerard,
Yes, what is it?
I'm Sergeant Dee Dee McCall, L.A. Police. I need to speak with you. May I come in?
It's awfully late. What is it?
I'm afraid I have some bad news. Your husband's been killed.
He should be home soon.
No. He's dead, Mrs. Gerard.
I hurt you.
I'm very sorry.
Hurt you.
Hey, Hunter. Gentleman on the bench wants to see the officer investigating the Gerard shooting. He was sitting there this morning when I came on duty at 7.
Thanks, Ray. How you doing, Sergeant Hunter? Investigating the Gerard shooting. How can I help?
I'm afraid it's the Jupiter project, sir. They finally made their submarine invisible. The entire country, the entire free world are at risk.
Here, hold that for me. Oh. That's a good photograph. Haven't we met?
Yes, sir. I'm Dexter Blodgett. I tried to tell you last year about the men who were being abducted from the homeless
And
shelters.
taken to Jupiter.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, Dexter. Yeah, you want to step over there? Appreciate you coming in. Ray?
Yeah.
I want you to call Jupiter. Tell them we have Mr. Blodgett here in Los Angeles. Tell them that we're going to make sure he gets home safely.
Correct.
Mr. Blodgett, once again, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Bye.
The victim's name was Michael Gerard. He was 31. Owned a litho company 2 blocks south on Cahuenga. Had $63 in his pocket, credit cards, his watch. It was all there.
Well, that shoots the robbery motive.
The owners of a restaurant on the corner said that the victim ate there now and then. He had dinner there that night alone. He left at 9:10. It was right before the shots were fired.
Any witnesses?
No, nobody on the street saw anything. But it's Hollywood Boulevard. You know, those people don't even remember their names.
What did his wife say?
Well, that they were married happily for 2 years. They had been building up a print graphics boutique. They were planning on having kids around 1990.
Any enemies, drugs, debts?
Nope, I did a credit check at Certified National. They had a good payment record on their car, their home, all their loans.
Yeah, credit cards current, just movie rentals, Hollywood Bowl, Dodgers season tickets. Yeah, you know, I am still a little worried about those red marks on the victim's neck, though. Hi, guys. I just got the preliminary word from the coroner. Gerard was shot 4 times at point-blank range, possibly with a .380 automatic. The first slug hitting his heart, killing him instantly.
Sounds very deliberate. Any lab reports on the marks on the victim's neck?
No, it looks just to be a dye marker. That bothers me. There's something crazy about that. Maybe it's a psycho or something. Well, look, check with the hospital details, see if there are any dangerous patient releases.
So, anything else besides no motive and no witnesses?
Nothing, Charlie, although I am running down a list of disturbances that occurred in the area that night. Other than that, I have nothing.
Good, good, thanks. What about the victim's wife? What was about her whereabouts?
I already checked into it. She was at her sister's house. Apparently every Friday her husband worked late. He was out, so she went over there and had dinner. It was a regular routine. She says that they were a real happy couple, just ordinary people.
Ordinary people are not shot to death at close range.
Morning, honey.
Good morning.
Ow! Are you all right? I think. It's getting late, Rachel. Aren't you worried about being late for work?
I was fired yesterday, you satisfied bitch!
Hello, Oak Park, East Wing. Dr. Pence? One moment, please. Security to discharge. Security to discharge.
This is Dr. Pence.
This is Eva Sands. Rachel Sands' mother. She's acting up this morning. She got herself fired from that bookstore job, and she's been yelling and screaming. I haven't seen her like this since she started with you.
Has she been maintaining her dosage of hydroloxin?
Oh, yeah. She takes one at breakfast and another before going to bed. I see to that. Well, she didn't take one this morning, come to think of it.
I'll be by the house. I'm making my rounds now, but I should be there by 1. And calm yourself down, Mrs. Sands. Rachel will cue off you emotionally. If she gets violent, call the police.
Damn right.
What the hell did you do with my damn hairbrush? Oh, shoot it, priest! Oh! 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 Oh!
Yeah, I have it. Tell me, was there anything else in the neighborhood around that time? Okay. Yeah, thank you. There's a bookstore on Hollywood Boulevard that called in a complaint. The manager says that there was an employee there, a Rachel Sands, who apparently just lost it and started to tear the place up a little bit. You might want to check that out.
I do want to check that out. Thank you very much.
Let me know what you find.
Well, thank you.
Who set him on fire?
His complaint search might have paid off. Homicide, McCall. Sands? Is she there now? What's the address? Okay, I'm on the way.
What you got?
This morning, we got a call from a Mrs. Ava Sands who reported that her daughter, who has a history of psychotic behavior, stole her .380 automatic. Now, we got a disturbance call from a bookstore last night right around the corner from the shooting site concerning a Rachel Sands.
I'm the woman who called.
Mrs. Sands?
Yeah.
Is your daughter inside?
Yeah, she's in there. She's got my pistol. I missed it this morning. She never touched it before, but she used a knife on me once.
Okay, wait right out here, okay? I'll take care of things. Thank you. Rachel? I'm a police officer. I need for you to come out where I can see you. What do you want? I need to talk with you, Rachel. Come out where I can see you, Rachel. Rachel, get your hands out where I can see them. Come on outside, Rachel. Come on out, Rachel. That's right. Come on downstairs now, Rachel. Come on out. Just keep your hands where I can see them. I'm not gonna hurt you, Rachel. Everything's gonna be all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's right.
Feel free to take a look around. Excuse me. Dr. McCall, Niels Rasmussen. Sorry about blasting your eardrum. The airlock keeps the lab pressure at half sea level. We grow some pretty exotic bugs in here, you know. Wouldn't want any of them getting out.
Oh, I understand. I appreciate you taking the time to see me.
Oh, well, whatever you need, you've got it. But I admit to being a bit confused. Now, you mentioned a link between a murder and Rachel Sands.
Well, a possible link, yeah. She is a patient at Oak Park Hospital. She's involved in a test program there utilizing your drug, hydroloxin. So we're trying to determine if that drug could have figured into a killing. Now, I turned her over to her psychiatrist for a 96-hour observation period, and he checked her blood to figure out if there was something that could have caused her behavior. He found no alcohol, no drugs, and no hydroloxin. Now, could that have caused a violent withdrawal reaction?
Happily, and I can speak with confidence due to years of testing here at Eurogenics, hydroloxin displays no dependency side effects. None.
Testing on people?
Only just recently begun. The FDA is slow to allow. Now, Victor here monitors all the test groups. Victor Topple, Sergeant McCall. She's here about the Sands woman.
I pulled her charts. We don't actually select the subjects for the tests. That's on contract.
50 hospitals nationwide.
43. We have all the original medical history and the monthly interview transcripts here. I made you copies here.
Thank you. So how's the test going?
Nominal. As predicted, hydroloxin inhibits blind rage behavior in better than 80% of the subjects.
Any side effects?
Some people get runny noses. If you'll excuse me.
Thank you very much. Let's go out this way. So tragic, this Sands thing. The people I try to help with my research can do such awful things. That's why this drug is a godsend.
Oh, we haven't charged her yet.
Ah, but if you do, hydroloxin is tainted with the crime. That's a tragedy we must avoid. It did not make her a killer. The opposite. She stopped using it.
I'd like to see the test data when it comes through. When you have it all together, will you give me a call?
I certainly will.
All-purpose indelible marker. Dries to the skin in just a second.
Can you match the brand?
Twice. McCall was right about those bookstore signs. The manager threw what Rachel was working on in the dumpster, but she was using one of these to letter them when she had her fit. And the dead man's face. Now, all brands are similar. A handful of common ethers and a heavy dye. But each one is sufficiently unique.
So the marks on the victim's neck and these signs are the same, no question.
Some brands that they sell in supermarkets or thrift stores are bulk produced and custom labeled. We got lucky. The bookstore bought a name brand. That's what we call in the forensic trade good chemistry.
Good.
Annie, are you gonna be okay? If you need anything, call me.
In here. Any insights on Rachel Sands?
What do you got going there?
I'm on soft foods for a couple of days. My dentist put these in. He says I'm grinding my teeth at night. I wonder why.
Oh, yeah. Look at him in there. Here's the Mitchell file you requested. Now, Rachel Sands. Just like we thought, she's been in 11 different psychiatric institutions over the years. At age 8, she started ripping the covers off of books and magazines. Her first arrest came when she was 16 years of age. It seems that she ran amok out in a convenience store in the valley, got tired of waiting in line.
Well, I've done that.
And last year, right before the hydroloxin test began, she jumped her mother with a butcher knife. The next day, her mother went out and bought a .380 semi-automatic.
Which we still haven't found.
Right.
The killer scrawled all over Michael Gerard's face with an indelible pen. Same brand that Rachel Sands used to make that sign at the bookstore.
Right.
Listen, drop this on my desk.
I gotta get going. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Demang? No, she's not here right now. She's out at the hospital. Yeah, I'll take the message. What is it?
Rachel, okay, let's go back to why you got angry with Mr. Ellers.
I don't know.
Is it because he criticized the way you were doing your job?
Maybe. But he's usually okay.
Do you remember tearing these up?
Not really.
Must have been pretty angry.
Well, that's typical. I always forget afterwards.
That's not an admission.
I know that, Sid. Relax, all right? Rachel, you don't have to be afraid. You're not going to be blamed for anything you didn't do.
McCall, don't con my client.
And why don't you give me a little line to fish with, okay? It's in the best interest of your client. Rachel, you were doing really well on the hydroloxin. So why'd you stop taking it?
I don't know. Look, lady, I'm doing my damnedest, okay? But a blank is a blank.
All right. I'm sorry.
Don't touch me. I don't like to be touched.
Why don't we, try some impressions? Why don't you try closing your eyes and then just seeing whatever comes in, okay? What sights, sounds, or images you get. Will you try that?
Okay. It's hard, though. It's very dark. Damn zeros, they won't fit.
Zeros like on the sign?
I don't know, maybe.
Rachel, please try. You have to give me something I can help you with.
Oh, yeah, you want to help me, huh? Glasses. Lights.
Glasses like the kind you drink from or the kind you wear? Were the lights street lights, Rachel?
Maybe. There's people, there's cars.
Like in a parking lot?
Thank you, McCall. I think you've led my client far enough down the primrose path for today.
Was it a parking lot, Rachel?
I don't know, yeah, whatever you say. Yeah, it's a parking lot. I killed the guy in a parking lot.
Rachel, quiet, not another word.
You saying that because you saw it on TV or a newspaper or because you remember, Rachel?
Rachel has done a good job. I think she deserves a little rest.
I love it when people try and help me. I'm just the kind of person people stand in line to help.
I got some news. I was waiting for you to take a break.
Did you see the look in her eyes? She's carrying so much hate in her for herself. You know, I'm telling you something. Her shrink says he doesn't think she's capable of killing anybody, and I agree. I think that woman's innocent.
McCall, we just got the word they found the gun in a dumpster over on Highland.
It's got Rachel Sands' fingerprints all over it.
Sergeant McCall.
Yes.
I'm Eva Sands. Rachel Sands' mother.
Yes. Please sit down. How can I help you?
Is Rachel gonna go to jail?
She's in psychiatric detention at Oak Park. She's being tested. If she's found competent, the DA plans to file charges against her for the Gerard murder. Didn't her attorney, Mr. Dumbrower, contact you?
I figured he was just in it for the money. I told him to do whatever the court will pay for and nothing else.
Well, I can arrange to have you see her.
Oh, don't. Well, she's not expecting it. You think I'm hard.
I didn't say that.
You put up with her for 39 years, and you'll be wishing to God, like I do, that something would happen to get free of her. You know, last year she went after me with a knife, and they still let her out. I had to buy that gun.
Were you badly hurt?
Yeah. Well, not actually from the knife.
Well, what happened?
Oh, Rachel had one of her conniptions. She grabbed the butcher knife, and she was cussing a blue streak. She was waving it around and jabbing it in the table. And, you know, the next thing she would have come after me with it.
Did she?
I didn't give her a chance. I ran. I slipped on the floor and bumped my head on the cabinet. I threw my back out. I had to have traction.
So Rachel never actually came at you with the knife?
No. But she could have.
Dr. Lynch, extension 108, Doctor's Lounge. Dr. Lynch, extension 108, Doctor's Lounge.
I understand she was injured.
That's true, but the reason Mrs. Sands was admitted to the hospital was because she injured her back. Now, why in the files does it say that Rachel injured her in a knife attack?
Indirect cause, I guess. Rachel hadn't come to me at that time.
Well, I think you ought to correct that file, because the fact is Rachel has never assaulted another person.
That's true. Her entire history is of violence against property, things. But then she did threaten you. Oh, this is so bizarre. Why all this new behavior? Why would she stop taking the one drug that she knew could help her?
Let me ask you something. Would any of these patients here ever stop their medication without your approval?
No. No, we monitor them as closely as possible. We fill nearly 1,000 prescriptions a day for the resident patients alone. Why?
Well, maybe the dispensary had a mix-up. Maybe Rachel did take her pills, but they just weren't hydroloxin.
Oh, that couldn't be us. The hydroloxin is prepackaged for the test patients at Eurogenics.
When you tested Rachel's blood, you were only looking for one drug in particular, right?
Oh, I had to. Some of these psychoactive drugs work in such minute amounts, you need a computer. You can't just go on a witch hunt.
Well, still, if you were on a witch hunt, what drugs would you look for?
Gas chromatography is kind of like trying to sink the 8-ball in the break wearing a blindfold. You can hit it, but then you have to go looking for it.
What?
Never mind. Pence gave us a list of 61 drugs he thought might account for Rachel Sands' behavior. Literally millions of molecular 8-balls.
Well, did we find it or not?
Sure. Doxonazone. She had a healthy dose in her system.
All right, very good, Kevin. That one was at the top of Pence's list.
Yeah, and this is not something you're going to find in a corner either.
Well, now, do you think her prescription could have been filled accidentally with this drug?
Well, I'm not a pharmacist, but I don't think it would be very likely. And don't forget, Eurogenics packaged this specially for the test group.
Makes it sound deliberate, doesn't it?
This drug was prescribed by the psychiatric community quite often until the side effects became known. Doxonazone promotes psychotic behavior.
Well, why would someone want to give a drug like that to Rachel Sands?
Technically speaking, to make her flip her lid.
That's patently impossible.
Well, it happened.
I have no idea how Rachel Sands got doxonazone into her system. It's a crude drug with many problems. It's hardly used. We don't even have any here.
Well, look, all I'm asking is for you to check. She obviously had the wrong drug in her blood. Maybe she got it through an error at your end.
Well, you're damn right I'll check. And, Captain, until you hear from me, you'll be well advised not to make your suppositions public.
Right, Doc, thanks. Well, they swear they don't have any.
Doc's on his own promotes psychotic behavior. Now, how could Rachel have had this drug in her body?
Maybe somebody wanted to make her crazy.
Darling, I wish you'd return my calls. Don't ignore me. I hate that. I told you what I'd do if you didn't
Good evening. Take it easy there. Good night. Good night, Rosie.
They're amazingly acute. Any little change in lab routine will set them off. I think they know the doctor's gone.
Who was working here after hours?
Business hours? Oh, any of the researchers. We've got 20 or so active grants, a couple foreign co-op teams, literally hundreds of experiments going. Biochemical work doesn't run on an 8-hour clock. I was in the cryo lab when the power failed.
Arson said that there was a massive power surge first. Do you think security could get me a list of who was here?
Possibly. But the scientific staff uses the security entrance off the parking garage. We all have electronic keys, and oh, it's impossible to calculate what we've lost tonight. He was a genius. I mean, we'll never know what else he might have done. Well, he'll get a posthumous Nobel Prize, but...
So what do you got?
Well, I think Rasmussen figured out who switched Rachel's pills.
Yeah. Whoever killed him for it, you can bet he's covering his tracks by now. I think you should be looking for a connection between some Eurogenics employee and Michael Gerard.
Yeah. Let's go back around the corner here. It's a little more private. You know, I've been trying to reach you.
I'm sorry. He kept calling me, so I finally just went to my sister's. I hope this is nothing. I mean, I know you already caught that woman.
Wait a minute. Who's been calling you?
There's this man. He's been watching me and sending me things. Like, yesterday, he left a rabbit in my car.
What, a rabbit?
Yeah, he's crazy. He must think that I might be interested in him now since Mike... I met him at a club. I mean, he met me at a club, and I was already engaged to Michael. So I didn't give him much encouragement. But then he got into this dream of fantasy. And now he's saying these terrible things like he's going to kill himself if I won't have him.
Why don't we start from the beginning, okay? Why don't you give me a physical description? His name, where he works.
Oh, he's pretty average looking. He's about 35. He wears glasses. His name is Victor. I think he works in some kind of a laboratory.
I still don't like this. I'm going in there.
Sid, it won't work in a crowd. Now look, any incriminating statement she makes will not be used against her.
Okay, I accept that. Just not sure I want it to work.
Sid, I'm gonna buy you a donut.
Okay, you came outside. It was about 8:30, and you wrote it on the back here. You wrote any four for $5. Would you write that again now?
I'm not a trained SEAL.
Rachel, I didn't say that you were. You got a memory block. I'm trying to help you to remember, okay? Will you just write that down?
You satisfied? This is the way it turns out. I can't do the damn thing.
And then this, right? And then you did this.
What are you doing? Where the hell are we going?
I don't know. You tell me. You remember walking away, didn't you, Rachel? Remember that?
Not really. Well, it all looks the same. There's cars, there's people, lights.
And glasses.
Don't touch me. I told you never to touch me.
Do you remember a man in glasses, Rachel? He took your purse. Remember that? He took your pills right out of your purse, Rachel. The man with the glasses took your pills. Do you remember that? Do you remember? And then he did this. Do you remember that, Rachel? He put the gun in your hand. Do you remember, Rachel? The man with the glasses put the gun in your hand just like that.
I was so sick. I was coming apart. I didn't know it.
I know you were sick because he switched the medication on you, Rachel. Is this the man? Was this the man you saw? Is this the man who did it, Rachel?
I'm sorry.
No, Rachel, you didn't do anything.
Yeah, I did.
What?
I don't know, but I must have done something.
It's okay, Rachel. It's gonna be all right. 1 William 157, I'll need backup code 2 at 337 Fulton Street. That's Eurogenics Laboratory.
Roger.
Hi, you've reached 7790. Please leave a message and the time you called. Thanks.
I know you're there. You can't just pretend.
Leave me alone.
Darling,
I don't want anything to do with you.
you can't just...
Now listen, I told the police how you've been hounding me, and if you don't stop it, they'll make you.
Darling, don't hate me.
Does he always work at night?
He works whenever he wants to. He's a level 3.
I got backup coming. As soon as they get here, you let him in, all right?
Will do.
If there's a power failure, can you get this thing open?
Yeah. 10 seconds.
Victor! Come out where I can see you. Put the gun down, Victor.
I knew it was a reach, but it had a chance. Maybe I pressed a little too hard.
Victor, put the gun down. You're not thinking straight.
You're telling me. Come on, help me.
How you doing, Rachel?
Dr. Pence is sending me home today.
Actually, I believe he's arranged to have you go into a group home where everybody works and pitches in. I think that sounds great.
Yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see it.
I think you'll see it. Dr. Pence strikes me as a man who stands by his word. Mr. Ellers is expecting you at work on Monday, too.
Sure. Till I screw up again.
You know, Rachel, there's a lot of people out there that like you. I like you. Why don't you give us a break?
You like me now, but just wait.